you've got a whole...
Oh, you have a whole track line here.
And you just, all of a sudden, you heard a vocalization.
Yeah.
Look at this thing. You guys are gonna freaking die.
What?
It was a head peeking around a tree.
Sumter National Forest. On the surface, it is countless acres of sprawling South Carolina wilderness. But beneath this dense canopy lies a landscape defined by conflict and concealment. These woods were once backdrop for brutal guerrilla warfare during the American Revolution and bear the name of Thomas Sumter, a fierce general who led Patriot militia in South Carolina's backcountry. The forest floor is dotted with overgrown remnants of old plantations lost to time. And for 2 intense years, between 1943 and 1945, these valleys echoed with ordnance as an active Army bombing range. Today, the trees have reclaimed it all, burying centuries of secrets deep beneath the pine needles. The files on Sasquatch in the Sumter National Forest go back further than most realize. Witnesses describe a creature that utilizes the chaotic history of this land, using the old bombing ranges and dense pine thickets as cover. We ourselves have received multiple reports from this forest, most notably from a witness in 2023 who reported hearing an unknown creature laughing from the nearby tree line. Newberry County, South Carolina, November 2024. A police officer hunting from a blind near Peak was challenged by a 7-foot bipedal creature. The officer went on record stating, "We watched each other for probably 30 seconds, but it felt like forever before it turned and walked off. I'm a police officer and had no clue what to make of it. At this point, as much as I don't want to admit it, I am convinced it was a Bigfoot." Join us as we journey into the dark heart of South Carolina in search of the Sasquatch of the Sumpter. It's officially day 1 here in the Sumter National Forest. We're at base camp right now. We got in kind of late, set up camp, went straight to bed. We had an interesting night. There were a couple other people camping out here. We're in Sedalia campground. There were a couple other people camping out here. One gentleman was over in this direction. I'm gonna go over to his campsite in a second. But at 5 in the morning, Joe and I were both awakened by this guy just flashing his flashlight around and kind of making weird noises. And the flashlight hit our tent, woke us up, and he's making noises. And we look out the tent, and he's actually frantically shining his light through the woods. Now, prior to this, we had heard a couple of things. We had heard a couple of things cracking and snapping throughout the night, but nothing overt, no vocalizations, nothing like that. It was just
kind of odd stick breaks, and it sounds like things were moving around a lot. But this guy was so spooked out at 5 in the morning. He's up. He's like kind of running through the woods over here, just shining his flashlight, a little freaked out, I guess. And he just packed up his camp and just got the heck out of here. So I'm gonna go over to where he was camping and just take a look at it for a few minutes and see if I see anything over there. Oh, whoa. Okay. That appears to be part of a rabbit's head, I think. It looks like there's an ear here. The ants have not really started consuming this yet, but so that means this has not been here that long. This is just part of the skin off of a rabbit. Okay, that's a little weird. So if this was left here from this guy from yesterday, these ants would be there would be way more ants on this. It wouldn't be just like 2 ants on it at this point, trying to consume what's left of the flesh. Bizarre. Okay. I'm gonna go get Joe in a second and get him to come over here. Take a look at this.
There were no ants on this when you found it?
There was like 1 on there, but it's, that guy's been gone for a long time.
You got 2 ants on here right now and you got a fly buzzing around, but this might be nothing. We'll get a couple photos of it as well. Again, it might be nothing, but if we start finding other stuff like this.
Yeah.
That's just odd.
I think for our first morning here in the Sumter National Forest, it's kind of odd that...
You think something spooked him?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of bizarre behavior. You got somebody frantically packing up that early in the morning when there's no inclement weather.
That's hard to see. He might have seen it. He might have just caught it with his eye of the flashlight. You saw it when you walked down. Maybe he heard something and didn't even see that here. Maybe it got thrown at him.
Who knows?
We've established our base of operations at Sedalia Camp, but going into these woods at night requires more than just cameras. It requires backup you can trust. Joining us on this push is our field producer, Mike M.K. Kirkpatrick. MK is a US Infantry Combat Veteran, a specialist in land navigation, and a seasoned outdoorsman. When you're miles off trail in the dark woods, looking for a creature that knows the terrain better than you do, you need someone who knows how to navigate a hostile environment.
Another adventure, out and about.
Give us an extra set of hands out here. Here's where we found that fur. And again, that fur might not be nothing, man, but it's just...
What pops my interest is all these saplings right here that kind of make an impenetrable wall.
Yeah.
I think that might be an interesting spot to kind of maybe get behind if you can find a little game trail back there. But this is where the focus was. Well, you have these kind of like deep creek beds that run all through back here. Oh, hey, that looks interesting back here. Looks like the pine straw is kind of patted down good right here.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Right? Like through here and all that?
Yeah.
Can you still see the camp?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you can. If you get down here, you can definitely see the camp. Pretty directly, actually.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to do much to hide. Just get down like this.
Yeah.
Keep popping up.
Yeah, this is perfect. And look, there's a whole path in here, too. That looks like it's just an observation point for...
And then you can always get down to that creek bed and then just
get out of
there.
And what's up with the fur? Is that a completely unrelated kind of thing, or is that...
a warning?
We make our way down old forest roads, eventually ending at the boundary of public and private land. Like many other national forests in the Southeast, public territory here often intersects with small patches of privately owned land, farms, and cabins. In a promising sign of things to come, we almost immediately discovered 2 possible footprints alongside this lonely forest road.
Bizarre.
Something was standing, it was right there. This is all pushed forward.
Yeah. And we come
Same
around
with
that
this.
corner just now.
And then look, someone pushed this way, so it almost looked like it took a turn.
Like a pivot.
Yeah, pivot off.
I thought this was
Like nothing.
nothing for a minute. Look at it right now, where the pine needles have been smashed in.
Yeah.
14 inches from big toe to heel.
Oh, I even see the
You see toe impressions?
Yeah.
1,
big
2,
one guy right there.
3, 4, big toe right there, left foot.
And that was like some sort of pivot move there. It did.
8 inches across the top.
What was it? 14.
About 6.5 across the middle. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think this was much of anything. Now this one is showing at 15, but the heel has drug on the back here a little bit. About the same size.
I wonder how far down you could hear the truck coming, because I mean, if it had a few minutes, it would only taken a minute or two for some leaves to fall on top of it. It was only like 2 leaves.
I mean, there's leaves falling right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
within minutes it could happen. So if it heard the truck, oh, we stopped not that long back and we were slamming doors.
Right here.
Come down here.
There's my, yeah, right across, right across. Hold
Right
on.
here's right across.
Yeah. You can see movement down through here. See the
that?
pine needles are mashed down?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Things are walking.
Look
through.
right here. Whatever was standing there could have gone right across that road with the hard pack.
Yeah.
Got
Jump right down
here,
in
and
here.
Look at the mash down before you walk. Look, it's mashed down. There's something moving.
Yeah,
through.
someone's walking through here.
You can't see this from the road at all. Wild.
Oop.
Well, look right
This
here.
definitely been, yeah.
Something's been traveling up through here. Well, look at this. If this thing's over there and a truck comes up, it hears it, bolts across the road, goes down, comes up here and gets on this side, nobody from a vehicle is going to get over here.
No.
Nobody from a vehicle is going to get out and come over and explore this ravine. Oh, but look at this. Something could get in this, get out of here, come up well out of sight of the road.
Yeah. Easily.
All right. You're officially in the cameraman's guild right now. That was pretty baller. That was pretty baller. Jessi was trying to film us on the main cam while we were doing this, but she couldn't stay out of the fun. You just slid down that hill with that camera?
Yeah. How's that cinematographer's guild looking now, boy?
I guess I'm out. I'm running around with the damn freeform action cam right now. And
Hey, there's something up here. There's like some, might be an old homestead site.
hold on 1 second. You go first. Camera. Got it. Got it. All right.
Swing it around, got it. You good?
I'm good. What do you got?
Up here, there's like fresh green grass up here. And it just stuck out to me as being like a weird spot. And those game trails through here, you can see something's walking through here. Oh, wow. And so many nooks and crannies out here. Everywhere you go is another big, deep draw, another big, deep cut.
Depending on the history of the area, a lot of times when you have fissures in the land like this, it's the result of
Like agriculture.
bad sharecropping practices where there was a lot of erosion. So it was just about farming and that was it. It wasn't really about sustainability or anything like that. So you'd have massive amount of erosion that would occur.
Intrigued by this possible evidence of Sasquatch activity, we gear up and begin exploring the deep forest adjacent to Sedalia Camp.
We're approaching something. We got,
Look at this. Look at this thing. Isn't that kind of crazy?
I thought it was a root ball.
Oh, is this a root ball?
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah, this is like,
Whoa, this
it
is
weaved?
totally hollow inside. It looks like it.
and you can see it's pressed.
This is crazy. Is it not?
Oh yeah, no, this is like a perfect blind, and you could fit 2 people in here.
This is the size of a single person, like, tent.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit bigger
It's-
than my tent.
Perfectly shaped like a single person tent as well.
We are gonna put this inside this little blind and look at it.
Yeah. Grab that camera from him.
Let's go in.
Nice.
What's holding this? So that tree was bent down over.
This is a bent tree. It looks like it's 2. It's 2.
2 on each side.
Joe, this
bent
is
together.
crazy. Come and look at this. This is multiple trees that are bent, pinned, thatched over with vines, and then covered in pine needles.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
You ever seen anything like this?
You can look in there and see how it's pressed around.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
But then notice there's that middle spot open, as if something is sitting
Yeah.
with like its legs. Like that's like an open
It's
spot.
an impression that way too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally matted down inside of this structure.
So these are pinned trees. These are trees that have been bent over and pinned to
And
form
then
the-
there's vines and sticks basically thatched on top of it.
You can even, in here, you can even see some of the weaving that it looks like through here. Like, look at that back branch.
Oh,
in there.
absolutely.
Look how that one goes around and it twists back around that trunk like a few times.
Jessi's getting some footage from inside this, what appears to be a shelter. We're cutting just across through the woods here. The pine straw is a little matted down around it. Again, like I was saying before, it's a couple of trees that have been bent and pinned to form the structure. And then basically vines and pine straw have been draped over it in a way to kind of cause.
I mean, do you think this would protect you from the elements?
Oh, it'd certainly help, yeah. One of the most basic survival shelters you can possibly do is literally just stacking foliage off the ground
Yeah.
and then getting into it.
Yeah.
So this is like primitive, but I mean, it would absolutely help keep you.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more for like the ability to be concealed and watch, if nothing else.
For
I don't know
sure.
where you're going to watch at. Maybe just concealment. I'm going to get a shot all the way around
There's
it.
holes where like they're not really holes, but there's like thin spots. Like one low, you see down here. There's one kind of high. There's enough spots where you could sit in there. No one would see you. You could peek out.
Yeah. This is incredible, honestly. And it's,
I can't imagine anyone coming up here.
no. And there's almost like there's you can tell that there's some sort of skill or art to this in a way too, you know?
But like
It's not slapdash put together.
It looks like you can compare it to my tent. It is very similar in that same style of like, okay, we just need the most minimal to sit in
Yeah.
and lay down in.
That's the first thing I thought of with like the size of it, you know, the scale of it and everything, the shape. That's exactly what it reminded me of. Because I have like a marmot tent that is for one person that is almost this exact shape here, you know?
Yeah. I know exactly which one you're talking about too, the single dome.
Yeah. Fantastic. This is crazy. We're going to go ahead and mark this on our main map. And I say we keep going into the woods. This is a great find, though. I was just showing MK when I was putting this, what appears to be a nest or structure, when I was putting it on the main map, I log every one of these finds that we have, where they are, what they are. I include a picture and a description because I'm building a master map of this research area. I was showing him when I was looking at that map that this thing, this structure, this nest thing, this shelter, this blind, it is in the very center of the apex of this hill here.
So it's the highest elevation.
It's the highest elevation, and it's perfectly centered at the top of this. I mean, perfectly centered. So, you know, if you are in that, you're using it as a blind, you'll be able to see all around you, and you can go down that side of the mountain, down that side of the mountain, down that side, or this side if you hear something and if you're hunting. It's in the exact perfect spot to have a 360 view and monitoring of the whole area.
And it gives you an escape route no matter what direction something's coming up from. You can go the opposite direction at any point.
Interesting. Well, the pine needles were mashed down around it when we found it. So something's been walking around there.
Yeah.
They're mashed inside, so something's going inside there.
Yeah.
No sign of hair or anything like that in it, but, you know, you're looking for a hair in a pine needle stack back there, you know, so.
Yeah, it goes all the way down. Looks like we might have, could be a creek or one of those gullies down there, you know?
Yeah, it looks like it's got a little bit of an edge down in this direction.
All right, let's work our way down. Look at this. This was a road bed. Look at
Yeah,
this.
this is definitely an old road.
This is an old road bed.
Yeah, that explains why it's so thinned out.
Because it's a baby pine highway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, this was a road bed.
Is this the road bed we were shooting for?
I don't know. We'll have to check the map.
One
but
second.
Take a look at these arches over here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right over this gully, road, whatever it is. You want to follow this for a while?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
This, MK said there's a possibility.
This might be from the range complex.
This could be from the range complex because there's ditches on either
On
side.
both sides, which is pretty like fortified, but like when you're running tanks and like artillery down roads, you want to keep those roads as, you know, solidified as possible, so you get good ditches in there.
Yeah.
That's like one of the keys to like range roads.
Well, we can follow this and then cut over.
And it's immensely huge. I mean, it's super wide. It's a 2-lane.
Whoa.
Beautiful boy.
Look, those are the old culvert before it's still in existence.
Yeah.
Field what?
The old, it's the culvert for the road.
So
Drain water.
this probably does go to the old bombing range.
It's not on the map. Those two over that way are on the map. This isn't on any of the maps.
The
that I've got
bombing
downloaded.
range was in operation from 1943 to 1945. So
And everything
you
was
know.
sold off in 47, so by the 50s it was just done. Yeah. There's nothing.
What was that? It sounded like speech.
Up top here?
Yeah.
All right.
That was speech. It had like a
Syllables. Those were syllables.
Yeah. What the heck?
Well, do we want to check that debris pile out?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm looking to see if there's anything like pressed down into it, but I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Well, this might not be a permanent shelter, but it'd be a good place for something to temporarily hide.
Oh, I could jump right down in here right now and I'd be gone.
We heard what just sounded like, it's like syllables.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a turkey or anything like that at all. It was like a word being spoken, but very like guttural.
Yeah.
Hopefully I got it on the DJI.
It was like, wow.
Yeah.
I thought somebody was like standing over there talking.
Yeah.
But I didn't, I mean, it wasn't your voice, it wasn't MK's. That's why I kind of flipped out.
Yeah.
You know, it startled me.
Let's just keep our ears open.
Yeah.
I gotta collect my pack where I stripped it.
All right, we gotta go find your pack now.
Right down here. I was hoping if I got up here quick, I'd maybe put eyes on whatever made that sound.
We're never gonna be able to catch up to anything.
You hear anything? All right, must be nothing. So I heard like a.
Yeah, I kind of heard that too.
Yeah,
but
right.
it's not these trees in the wind making that noise either.
You'd hear it consistently with the wind.
Yeah.
Like right here is like one of the stronger breezes we've had out here. And like I'm not hearing trees crinking together. Is that the road right there?
That's it.
Yeah, my pack's right down
Look
here.
how look how good of a road that is.
Yeah.
This could be an old position, like where they would set up artillery for the range.
Yeah, it widens out a lot right here.
Yeah.
You still have your ditches on both sides.
But it's probably like 3 times as wide as what it was back there.
Yeah,
And that makes me kind of think, well, if you're dragging artillery, you got to back it in.
that's a good point. All right, let's keep going. You know, it'd be interesting if we could find some, you know, some remnants of that bombing range, whether it be, I don't really want to find, you know, undetonated munitions, but
Wait, have there been any reports of unexploded ordnance out here?
Yes.
yes. Yeah, so they're,
Okay, so y'all didn't want to tell the camera guy before we started all that? That there were...
oh yeah, so there is a possibility of unexploded ordnance out here. Yeah, this was a bombing range between 1943 and 1945.
Well, I'm liking the order of march here right now. MK, you keep going forward. Jessi, you go second, and I'm gonna bring up the rear, okay? So
Cameraman always lives.
Yeah,
cameraman does always live.
Oh wow! Stoop. Yeah,
comes
you
right
might be
together.
right. That was the end.
So I used to do like gunneries, right? We take the Bradleys out there and you go down a road like that and you end up in your position and all it is like a big clearing where they
Yeah.
got you set up for, like just park right here.
So you've seen something like that before?
Sure, yeah, you see that in like, they call like gunnery ranges. They have them all over the country in different training areas. But yeah, you'd be told like, okay, we'll set up positions here, 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 and you get out there, there'll be a road and then like enough of a space where you could set up equipment and all that.
Very cool.
What I'd be curious about is like, they might have like eroded away at this point, but like normally if they had tanks out here, there'd be berms put up so that
Yeah.
the tanks can peek up over and then shoot. Now this might not have been one of those types of ranges, but keep an eye out for like berms. That's kind of what I'm looking at right there.
Yeah, it is actually. Look at that.
Yeah, it's got that made me think about like that. This could have been part of the whole area here. That's like perfect height. If you had like a Sherman tank, you could park.
I would have loved to have seen a Sherman tank.
We had one in front of my barracks, and I used to sip on the sauce a little bit and go on top of it and hang out on it.
That's a Saturday night.
That is a Saturday night.
Trail goes here. You got an arch right here,
Right where the trail's at.
right at this path of travel. There's a path of travel that goes that way and one that goes under the arch. We made our way to a old forest road that is down the main road from our campsite. Our whole idea here is that we're entering into the forest from above the campsite. We're gonna come in from this side, see if we can kind of flank it a little bit, maybe drive it towards camp, and then we might end up hopping in the truck and going back to camp a little later. But first we're gonna explore this area a little bit and see if we can find any evidence out here that there's something going on out here. So I was looking at the topo map. We should have higher elevations on either side, and this right here should be kind of a cut that goes down into the valley. There is a creek straight ahead, so this kind of cut goes down to the creek area.
Well, let's, what do you think? Go down to the creek area?
Yeah, let's check it out. Now there is a bit of a path over here, but we do have one of these gullies that we keep finding out here, down here. That might be a path of travel, you know?
Oh, wow. It's a lot deeper than I expected.
Oh yeah, it is. Way deeper.
Yeah. Oh,
Look at this.
And this is kind of what I'm saying, where even though you're scanning with a thermal.
Whoa!
Look at this. This is crazy.
This is just a. What is this? Is this a dry creek bed? That's just
No,
completely
this
covered
is
with-
probably erosion from when they had, like, they were homesteads out here. They probably had sharecropping. This is probably massive erosion from that. But I mean, if something's in these gullies, in these like ravines, I mean, our thermals are useless if we can hide behind berms like this. Just the topography of the land has really lent itself to, you know, easy and quick concealment of anything out here.
I hate to keep bringing this up, but it's like we're out here and like we're in this bombing range, this old bombing range area, but like we keep coming across these like what is basically naturally made trenches, and it seems like they're getting used as such. You know, it's like these things are defeating our thermals because they can simply just get behind something so easily out here, and these things are just out there. Like this is wow. This is just how we haven't gone that far, and we had no clue this was down here.
Yeah.
And you just walk up on it, and bam, there's a 20-foot drop off.
And these woods are absolutely full of these. We
Full.
find them everywhere so far.
I mean, this is a completely different beast than like what I'm used to.
Yeah, of course.
Even though it's like deceptively kind of easy to move through here, but then not really. It's like you get into these spots, people aren't gonna go down in these.
No.
This is a 20-foot just drop.
Look, it just keeps going.
Look at that hole.
Do you want to get down them and try to follow them, or?
I think we should kind of skirt around the outside if we see a spot,
Yeah.
maybe, but I hate to get stuck in there.
Yeah.
Well, how are you going to
That's gonna be
skirt around up
terrifying.
here?
Imagine trying to get out of this fast.
It's shallower up here.
Yeah, maybe go across there and then down that other side.
Yeah, we could try that. But this is like alien planet type stuff.
Oh God, watch your footing here.
Ooh, yeah, watch out.
Okay, so you've got, this is crazy topography.
How deceptive looking at a map.
I know you didn't, but neither one of you just threw anything, did you?
No.
Something just moved over here to my right. Let's move up. Let's move across this gully. I'm sorry, but yeah, something just moved over here.
That's when I heard movement right over
Yeah, I say we go down here, right?
there. Right on.
What are you? Holy crap.
It keeps going.
Yeah.
Deeper and bigger. Because I'm looking over here too.
This is not the sort of terrain you would expect in a forest like this.
I guess because it's so unnatural. I'm imagining this is a lot of sharecropping and forestry is what caused these giant runouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Careful, it drops off right after that path.
I see it. You've got a whole other gully here that pours into this one.
This is wild. You could send, you could tell someone to hide in here and send 200 people to go look for them. You wouldn't find them
No.
if they knew what they were doing.
Holy crap.
This is nuts.
This is like a whole lost world down here. Look, the foliage is different.
Shh. Did you hear that?
It's gonna come from my head.
Now at the very end of that, where it kind of peers at the end, it's like, I almost halfway want to go down there. Like it seems like it's opened up down there. Like it's got a canopy of itself.
Just for a second. All right.
I'll get you a thermal on top just to scan.
You normally don't see trees growing on the bottom of gullies like this.
Nah. This is wild terrain. I've never been anywhere that looks like this.
And it comes up so fast. Comes out of nowhere, just bam.
Here. Jessi,
Yes. Swap.
camera for camera. Holy. I know this is gonna be difficult. We need to get down into this and follow it.
Okay.
Okay.
So we need to talk about, do we need to offload equipment at the truck and come back down here so we're more mobile?
Yes. So we've offloaded equipment, got rid of the backpack, stripped down to just the bare essentials. And we're gonna try to go into this ravine here. 3, 2, 1, go, do it.
Ram jam.
She's about to go about 20 miles an hour.
Oh my God, this is scary.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going down into the hole. You ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's descend into the, I guess let's descend into the ravine. Whoa.
Yeah.
This is a whole other world.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Oh my God.
All right, there's Holly right there.
I got it.
I got this one down.
I got it.
Watch out for that, you're good.
Why is it that every time we do this, we end up going into like some sort of like
Cavern or
canyon?
hole?
There's no.
I'm just glad you guys always bring me along for these rides.
We appreciate you coming into the third circle of hell with us.
We had scouted this road earlier, just the road, and saw that this was a good place to possibly enter the forest. We had no clue that.
This is a whole other world down here. We're at the bottom. We're basically in the bottom of a canyon. These are super steep, but it's like a mini canyon down here. And it looks like all of this was caused by massive, massive erosion.
And that's probably right here. We got about a 40-foot, 50-foot wall.
Sheer wall.
Yeah, it's right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, look at this. Wow. You see
Hold on
this?
a second. Yeah, hold on. Wow.
We are not getting out of here quickly.
But I'll tell you right now, though, if you're wanting to stay hidden in this area, we didn't even know this was here.
No.
I mean, MK knew about the, would you call that, a ravine in the Uwharrie where the mines are?
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing on the map. There's no elevation marking showing that there's a decline here. It's just straight.
Nope.
This tree right here is old now. This
That
big guy
loblolly
here.
right there? Yeah.
That's a monster tree.
Yeah, that loblolly's been there for a long time.
So how long has this been? That kind of kills the idea that this was done by
Wait,
like.
shh. like someone walking up there.
You want to move down? Something might be up there watching us. I wouldn't be surprised. We're down in here, someone would be up there just watching. You remember you guys slid down that ravine on like our first day, and I was running along the edge. I was able to travel along that edge at a high rate of speed while you guys were down and all that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Or something's down here watching us.
yeah.
Let's move forward a little bit.
Smells down here like moist and you got a plateau up here. Let me see what's on the other side of this.
I don't even know if that's a plateau. It looks like it just drops right back down.
Oh, we got a plateau right here. It's
Is that
just
what it is?
a flat space.
Oh, wow.
Dude, let me ask you a question. Look at this up here. This looks like something, it's beaten down here. This is not thick. The ground cover is not thick at all.
It's a good spot because it's also at the canopy height of all the foliage in the ravine. So,
Yeah.
like, you can't see up on this other side, probably looking down.
I don't know what
It's
it
like a
does.
spider web of just ravines everywhere you go.
Just keep following it. Hey, hey, hey.
Something's been through here.
Yeah.
Like a branch?
Uh-huh.
Get that on camera. Here. Branch is broken here.
Yep. Someone's been traveling.
Get behind you too. What's this behind you? That's like, this is not safe terrain to move over.
No. We're really far back here, too.
Yeah.
I don't see 90% of the population making their way back here.
I don't see 99% of the population making their way back here.
Like physically capable of making it back here.
And for what purpose?
And for what purpose?
I mean,
That's a,
someone could live back here.
oh, absolutely.
I wonder how much flooding Helene did to this area.
We know there was tons of wind damage.
Yeah, we see that everywhere.
But
I'm wondering about water. 'Cause it's like
here's my point though. Look at the tree right behind you.
this guy right here.
No, the tree literally right behind you.
Yeah.
That's been growing here
Oh,
at
yeah.
that level for years.
Yeah.
These ravines have been here for a while.
These are old.
And they haven't even been made that much deeper by the recent storm activity because there's trees on the very ground level, like the bottom level of this.
I mean, here's one buried underneath sediment, right?
Yeah, and I mean, look at this though. This is, we gotta be careful back here, y'all. We're gonna end up getting hurt.
Whoa! It opens up.
It does. It looks like it drops back down again over here.
No way.
Hell.
Look at it. Over there.
No way. This place is wicked.
And you have no clue it's here from that little like Forest Service road.
You can't see this on the topo maps. I didn't expect there to be such a variety in just the topography of the land. Because if you look at it, just a cursory look of it, you look on maps, you're driving down the main highways, the main roads, everything kind of looks flat. You don't realize that there's such sharp changes in the elevation and that there's so many places for something to hide out here.
But I just want to draw the parallels real quick. Okay. Last time the three of us did a big investigation in the Uwaris, we found evidence of possible Sasquatch activity in areas with ravines. We might be seeing similar stuff right here.
Yeah.
This seems to be where the activity that it has been centered around that campsite
It's coming from here.
comes from. Again, just like Morris Mountain, activity centered around a campsite. It's like they might live back in somewhere like this, but when they come out and they're active, they're around areas where people are.
Yeah.
Either because of curiosity or just to keep an eye on them to see what the hell they're doing.
Right.
So, but I'm just starting to say, we're starting to see a pattern in this part of the South.
For sure.
We're starting to definitely see a pattern in this part of the South.
Yeah.
And I think we need to just be aware of that because patterns are hard to come by in this like field. You know what I'm saying?
For
You know?
sure. I think we're seeing is the use of ravines. We're seeing the possibility of this thing, whatever it is, its interest in what we're referring to now as human theater. You know?
Yeah.
It looks like it kind of drops again a little bit more, but which direction is the camp now at this point?
Yep, that's it right here. So right now, that way. So the direction we're going is where this thing seems to be coming from and approaching that campsite.
It's like, what is the odds of like, okay, well, you got a place for activity and you find spots that are conducive to hide, you know?
Yeah. And that's where it's coming out of every time. It uses these areas to remain hidden, and then it comes out usually at night, kind of goes, checks out, see what people are doing, and then it goes about and does its stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Is that a curiosity thing? Is that a protective measure that it's trying to see how many people are out here? What do I have to worry about tonight? Okay, they're all bedded down, or no, they're not. Almost like you're kind of checking out a potential danger to see what it's going to pose to you that night before you go about doing whatever you're doing.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. So let's head this way because we're heading in the right direction.
Starting to get elevation over here again.
I was just thinking, we're actually down into something. We have to eventually come back out, right?
We're headed right towards the woods to the side of that campsite where that dude was flashlighting at.
Okay, perfect.
This trail that we're following is leading right up to it.
I need you guys to come look at this. This is a trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is
leading
straight
right.
up a trail.
No,
Look
but
at this.
that's a footprint right there.
Stop 1 second. Nobody move. We're getting footprints here in the, through the pine needles.
I mean, that even looks like toes right up here.
That could be one of those stop points, you know, like we've seen.
The pine needles are smashed down in the mud on that. This is heading right towards the campsite. Right towards
This is so beaten down. Something is so just absolutely traveling through this.
All right.
Look at the variety of movements that can go down. Like something
Yeah,
coming through
this
here.
is here. This is absolutely insane. This is an absolute path of travel. And it's headed straight for that camp. Hold on. Secure my load here.
This is bizarre.
This is so dangerous. You remember in the Uwaris, we went to that space that was like, it was that unfinished mine. Where you had that like moat or that pond that smelled awful, and then that unfinished like digging area. You know, you mentioned at that exact spot that would be a perfect place to kind of corral deer into, that they would fall in there because it's just an instant drop off. Something like this could easily be used for that, right?
Oh, I mean, well, not only that, but like the size and scale of this, like, I don't want to call it subterranean, but it's below the normal level of the dirt here. I mean, you could channel from so many different positions. You could channel something in. It's not just like you got to get this in one specific spot.
It's a
you
trap.
get this thing in this area, you can run them into this giant. I mean, basically a giant spider of a ravine.
I mean, if you've got something like this, even like
Oh,
if,
you can lay right in that.
look, anything's coming this way. Take a look at this.
Hey, that's like fresh.
Oh, whoa,
Does
whoa,
that
whoa,
not
whoa.
look like?
That's what we're trying to tell you. It looks like something was leaning up over this. Look at this V shape, like arms.
Yeah, like arms peeking up over it.
This is like a V shape, as if something was putting its elbows in these holes. There's holes here. Like something was putting its elbows in these holes and
And
peeling
we
up
just
over.
came down through that area.
Is that not what it looks like?
Come here and put your palms of your hands here. It's not elbows. It's palms of very large hands.
Yeah, I hear you. You spin down
Palms of very large hands, and right here's where it's been at.
push off real easy. And we just came down through here.
Was something up here watching us as we came down?
It had more than enough time to get out of here.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm curious about?
What?
Getting back to camp and how it acts when we get back to that area.
Now that we've been in its space,
is it gonna be a little bit more pushy?
is it going to enter our space?
Yeah.
Let's head back. Let's start to work back. All right, y'all lead the way.
These guerrilla warfare elements, I'm telling you.
It came from that dude's camper site. Let's walk over here where you thought it came from. I'm going white light. See if we see eye shine or anything. What do you guys think?
Oh no.
This is the most active spot out here.
It is.
Strangely enough, this is the most active spot out here we've seen so far. Let's go back to the campfire and see if we hear it again. Let's just sit there and keep our equipment ready.
Yeah.
We'd stopped for the night. We were eating food. And
We were knuckle deep in some bison mashers.
Yeah,
And
we-
you just, all of a sudden, you heard a vocalization.
yeah, 2-syllable vocalization. Wow. Like, and then
There's so much space out here. And this is like a human theater. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just sit right back over here, and if there's somebody in any of these spots, you can watch them. I got a hit. I've got a hit here. It's a distance away, though. It's putting up a lot of heat. Oh my God.
You filming?
Yeah? You guys are gonna freaking die.
what?
It was a head
Okay.
peeking around a tree. And I got it. I got it. The head's coming back out. I'm recording again. It's looking at us. It's back out again. It's looking around the tree.
Are you seeing anything?
There's another one. It's gone, whatever it is. Dude, it looked like heads coming out. It looked like heads coming out around the damn tree. Okay.
So we have found a turkey pelvis, a hog that something has like torn up, and now fresh deer bones back in here.
Yeah, those are pretty fresh. They're still.
At least I think that's deer bones. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a scapula or something. Yeah. They have teeth marks all over them.
We had a horrible night sleeping. There's stuff moving around the camp. We were just standing here talking. We were like, we need to film this, but
Yeah, so even if just kind of get these thoughts down.
I get over here, and then I'm kind of like thinking about the other night when we were out here, and Jessi saw the something in the thermal kind of peeking out behind the tree, and we were in that kind of same similar area. And I went back into here, and there's so many lanes of travel. When you get back in there, you can just kind of look around, and you just see like these perfect paths where like you can walk through, and you can see where something has walked through. You can see where pine straw in many of these ones. So I followed the one that was most padded down.
And it takes you all the way around this campground, past these campsites, then it even takes you down to where these loops, the front area has more like, how would you say, like more permanent kind of campsites for like campers and things like that, a little bit nicer because it's more closer to the front. This path, it takes you all the way around the outside of that where you can see each and every campsite. Just enough where you can see it through the brush and all that, but I would highly doubt you'd be able to see me through it. I just thought that was odd, and it kind of sets up this area as being someplace where they have a lot of free range of movement here. You can't see too far into this, and everything's draped in pine, and everything looks like a furry creature when you're looking at that. So it's an odd area, and it seems like a place that'd be very conducive for their like movement.
You can view these people. There's people camping out here. You can go and you can watch them completely undetected in these forests on these surrounding trails.
Because we had, all of us heard movement last night around, and at one point I heard it behind the tent, and I'm going, all right, well, if it tries to come at the tent, it's got to get through the brush that kind of like rings that camping area. And then you get up this morning and you can see where it's matted down pine needles, where something's moving around through back there. We didn't go into that particular area because there's no reason to go in there. There's brambles. There's like, you know, it's not somewhere. It's kind of like, it's a crappy place to walk for a person. But Jessi, you had that thing where you were talking about the swamp fox, Francis Marion.
Yeah, so this came to me last night. I slept terribly because there was so many noises and so many kind of things kind of moving around, crashing. There were many instances of crashing just in the woods around it. I heard at one point a lot of noise coming from this particular area down here. I woke Joe up for that. Francis Marion was also known as the swamp fox. He was a Revolutionary War hero, basically in South Carolina, and he was known for guerrilla warfare tactics. And it seems like what we're seeing here, with whatever we're dealing with, is using guerrilla warfare tactics. It's got, you know, concealment. It's got avenues of travel that are concealed within the land. It's using the land to move around silently and sort of attack us, even though we're not being attacked, but you know, I dare say mess with us or interact with us in very scattered and disorienting methods. These trails allow whatever's out here to move around very quickly, silently, undetected, without being seen. And we've seen several nights in a row that we'll be here, we'll hear something here, we'll go towards it, and then all of a sudden it's over here. Then all of a sudden it's over here. And I just thought that was kind of an interesting parallel to draw, that's exactly how guerrilla warfare tactics operate.
One of the things we talked about is that we just set this up as a base of operations. It was going to be localized. It would be pretty central to everywhere we needed to go to. And then we picked out several areas to go in and do like actual like investigations and then night investigations on. We didn't expect anything from, and we just were going to use it as like a place to sleep. We've had activity. And
pretty consistently.
Yeah. Well,
and it all really kicked off with that guy just tearing out of here super early in the morning.
Yeah, well, the thing is that if you're going to take that guerrilla warfare analogy, like MK was talking, insurgents are going to hit you where you least expect it and where you're weakest at.
Right now we're headed into the area that is directly behind our camp where we found those turkey bones and those deer bones. The bones were supposed to, here the bones are. Here, these are the turkey bones. The other ones were here. They are still here.
All right,
so
we've got some.
But now that we have a little light, we might be able to see some daylight here. We might be able to see if there's anything else around here.
Yeah.
Here's a path.
Yeah, something's been walking through here.
Look at this. Look at this corridor straight through here.
Yeah.
It's just a corridor straight through here.
So this path we're following, look at where you're at right now. You're out of sight of the campground. You're out of sight of the road.
We'll do a GPS check, make sure we're kind of going in the right direction.
We're headed in the right direction.
Okay.
Fur.
Yeah, fur.
You've got fur?
Fur.
Moving forward.
right along the path here. I don't know what that's from.
Looks long. Coyote, maybe?
That's pretty long. It's too long for deer fur. I don't know. I think that whatever these things are, if there's Bigfoot in here, they're not above going and grabbing roadkill.
Yeah.
Dragging it in.
And they're killing stuff and they're bringing it in here and eating. Just slow down a little bit.
I'm just trying to see if I can get a
Here.
path of travel without you having to.
bone
Jess,
here.
you got bone here.
What?
Yeah, there's bone right here in the path.
So we're just following the trail here.
Yeah, but whatever's walking back here is leaving a trail of bones and fur back here.
Yep.
Yep.
Wait, going down repetitively.
Oh yeah, that's worn away right there.
Yeah. And you can feel steps in it. You can feel steps in that.
We are following something's path here. 100%. And it's leading us to the ravine, huh?
And it's about as tall as me. Or all of us, really. There's a clearing over there, right? Is that what I'm seeing?
Looks like it. We can go check that out.
Yeah, looks like there's a pile of rocks right there.
Yeah, you're right. It might be a homestead site.
Oh, yeah, I bet you it is.
Holy moly.
You got a homestead?
We might have a homestead.
Yeah, that's weird.
There's a. I'm following a path. I think we got one. I think we got one.
Look at that, those bricks over here, I think.
Wow. Yeah. All right, so this is another thing we've got. We've got a possible homestead site here.
Hold on 1 second. Come here.
Old well.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my God, it is.
Yep, old well.
Wow.
Quartz in it too. Lined with quartz.
It's lined with rock. It's lined with stone.
Wow.
That's awesome.
This was a homestead site.
Yeah.
This is awesome, yeah.
Hey, watch. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, you got to
Might have been somebody might have covered it at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They must have caved in.
Oh, we need to be very careful walking around through here.
Yeah, that's a killer. I can jump into the well.
Okay. The nation stands united. Poor Jessi is down the well.
Hey, I was named after Jessica, who fell down the well, by the way. So it would just bring stuff full circle.
Are you for real?
me.
Yeah.
You named after baby Jessica?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yep, baby Jessica, that's me.
I don't know if be a good idea to drop you down in there.
Now, I think we got to take some risks doing this.
I'd come down that side.
I'm not going in the well, MK.
Are you not?
You just said on camera you're going into the well. It's kind of legally binding at this point.
And I was against it, but then he was like, no, yeah,
Yeah,
take some
you-
risks.
And then I
And-
brought the baby Jessica thing.
Yeah, now it's like, it's fate.
I'm gonna cross over here because I'm not crossing over that log. You must be crazy. Right here looks
Looks
fine.
like something's crossing here because it's.
Well, we're in an old mystical place, aren't we?
Yeah.
Look at this. Isn't this crazy?
Yeah, this is really wild.
This path is taking us directly to where we were last night. Just keep following the path of least resistance like we are, because that's headed right to where we're going.
Look, that log's worn down too.
Yep. Right here in this path, this log is just completely worn away, as if something has just been crossing over it on a regular basis. And it's right through this path of least resistance we decided to follow that is taking us to the ravine that we were checking out last night. We can connect the two. We have a direct path from that ravine we discovered that would be a perfect place of hiding and concealment straight over to where we're camping. And we have had all of those experiences. Neat.
I know, what are you thinking? Down through here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. There's something about this forest.
It just completely changes as soon as you
Look
come out
at
of that.
Yeah. This is a shift.
Okay, we gotta not split up. I totally lost sight of you 100%. These trees are, and I got such a weird feeling out here right now. Look at this.
Yeah, I'm looking
Joe.
at that. Look how traveled that is.
Yeah.
They're
I got-
always bent right over these like paths of travel.
I got a really weird feeling out here right now.
Now, if we walk right into the spot that we were at the end of the last night, that would be weird.
Yeah. We're gonna get up here just a little bit.
Okay.
I wanna see the connection point. Terrain's changing, vegetation's changing.
500 feet ahead of you.
Did you think on a Sunday afternoon you'd be walking straight into the belly of the beast?
That's what I kind of figured it would be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of typical.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Look at just this, the earth just falls away. And this is the beginning of that ravine.
Yeah, that's what
There
it's
it
going to.
is.
You can see the tree
You're here.
tops eye level with us right now.
You're here. You're where we ended up at last night.
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. The
We've
path leads right
connected
to
the
it.
paths completely.
You've got a whole,
Oh, you have a whole track line
There's
here.
a track line
you have
here.
a track line through here. You got toe marks here at the end. Right through here.
Yeah, you can see it.
Here. Here's
Yeah,
another.
that's what I'm saying. It's right through here. It's,
Do you think this is from last night? Do you think it was up top like we were talking about?
here's another one
Watching
right
this
here.
down here.
Come here. This one's good. You should be able to get this pretty easy. The pine needles are rammed down in.
Yeah, actually you can. I got it.
Yeah.
You can really see that one.
Pine needles have been smashed down into it.
There's almost like a dragging of the feet that occurs at some of these spots.
Hit the tree root and the toes bent over the tree root here. Come here. This tree root right here, it stepped and the toes went over the tree root right there. You can see where it's kind of pressed in on the other side of that tree root.
I think we found it.
This is where they're hanging out at. They're bedding down in these ravines and then they're coming up to the edge of this campsite to either check and make sure people see where they're at or just to watch them, just for, like you said, entertain.
Yeah,
you know?
entertainment.
And then I think that the people on the edge of that campsite have had experiences, gotten scared out before.
This is something we've never done before. We've never found a location that is a perfect habitat for something to live in and then connected it directly by foot, followed in the footsteps of whatever's out here. We followed directly in the footsteps of whatever is going from point A to point B to where we've had experiences and obviously other people have had experiences. We connected those two dots. I think this is amazing.
A short time later, Joe and I headed back into the Sumpter. We were there to investigate a specific site linked to a series of bizarre experiences sent to us by a witness in 2023. The witness and her husband reported encounters with both Sasquatch and something else. Something that laughed from the dark woods and sent them both fleeing in terror. Joe and I decided to come out here on a whim. We've been coming out here for the past few weeks, sometimes with MK, sometimes without. But we are both very sick right now, and we just had this weird feeling that we needed to come out to the Sumter National Forest. And we decided to come to the Laughing Beast area, which is probably a mistake because it's probably the most dangerous area that we've been in, being out here in the Sumter National Forest. But we're gonna go out here and just do a low-key, quiet night investigation down here below where we heard those vocalizations a few years ago and where our witness has heard vocalizations and had experiences. It's super quiet right now. It's winter. We're just gonna take it easy, go slow, and see if anything finds interest in us.
This is kind of an experiment too with us being sick. We're very, very vulnerable right now. We're both exhausted. We barely have voices, so luckily we have our labs going. But we're gonna be really low key and see if this vulnerability maybe piques something's interest as well. You got a series of these ravines down here, like we've seen in all these other areas throughout the National Forest. See over here? Now, while we've not really experienced a lot of audio phenomena, we do have the super sound stick set up. We have it kind of attached to the main camera here because we have heard vocalizations in this location before in years past. So if that happens, we're ready to capture it at a moment's notice. But we're already into dusk. We haven't heard anything so far, but you never know what might crop up. Well, it looks like it's kind of swampy, like a swampy lowland down here.
It's more open down here than I expected.
Yeah, for sure. Chest on me, that camera towards the sound.
Split second. That's not coyotes. I don't know what that is.
It's got a laughter quality.
Yeah.
That had like a laughter quality to it, didn't it? Hopefully we got a good sample of that. It had a laughter quality to it.
I see what the witnesses are talking about.
Absolutely. This is the first place where we've actually, if I hear anything, I'll stop talking. But this is the first place where we've actually gotten audio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this has been the entire time we've been doing these expeditions, it's just been like a silent shadow in the night. You know what I'm saying?
We've gotten some thermal stuff, but I say let's move into these lowlands here and just kind of go quiet.
All right, we're coming up on the creek right now. We're in this blue hour right now, so it's really hard to see any detail in anything around us. Let's get to the creek and go from there. Oh. That's an old tree there.
Yeah, it is.
Got a lot of old ones down here. So this is the creek where our witness from a few years ago, her husband used to moonshine down here. And this is the location of a lot of his experiences. It smells awful down here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it smells really bad down here. God, it smells really bad. Yeah. It's moving water. It shouldn't smell this bad. I mean, it stinks over here. This thing has been destroyed by woodpeckers. Look at it. Isn't that amazing? There's a possibility that vocalization could be all we get tonight.
Yeah.
This has been such an elusive phenomenon. It's been crazy. Unlike Uwari, it's like like I said, it's like a ghost, you know?
It's not as in your face as Uwari was.
No.
Well, that just goes to show you how different regions, even regions that are fairly close in proximity, you know, the behavior's different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's adaptations based on the environment. All right, now that the sun's down enough and we're losing visibility, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the thermal.
Okay.
Like I said, I mean, that vocalization might be it.
Yeah, well, let's see.
But
See what happens when the sun comes down.
yeah,
It's the winter solstice. It's the longest night of the year tonight. We're in a little bowl. I say we come back here in a little while and set up back to back with thermals and see if anything comes in to check us out.
yeah.
All right.
Man,
This place got wrecked.
yeah, for sure.
There's so much debris on the forest floor after the Helene.
I might go wildlife for a bit,
Okay.
if that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, right now we're moving in the direction that we heard those noises from, those vocalizations. I say we go up this way and kind of climb.
That's fine with
So
me.
just
You
go
lead
to
the
where
way.
we heard those vocalizations.
You lead the way. Here's the thing, though. Normal forest like this, it's easy to stay hidden.
Yeah,
Now all of this is down.
for sure.
I mean, just tons of just massive trees are knocked down.
Look at this.
The trees themselves, the root balls.
This is like the belly of the laughing beast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my personal locator beacon on my chest rig,
Okay.
because I'm gonna take my backpack off. Man, I gotta tell you though, this place it's a scary area, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's super thick, there's no visibility. It's just like the witness described though, you know?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my backpack off. You gonna get on the log with me?
Yeah, we'll look both the directions.
Can't believe how quiet it is out here.
Oh, no.
I know we're really close to Christmas, but it feels very apt to say that not a creature was stirring.
Yeah, there is. You want to let our night vision kind of recover and move on a bit?
Yeah. It's insane. I mean, it's quiet. It's super
Yeah,
quiet.
it's very quiet.
There's nothing out here. There's not even like mice out here.
Yeah. I'm not getting anything on the thermal.
Yeah, I'm not even getting mice. Normally I'd get mice. So far it's been super, super quiet out here. We got that initial vocalization, but sitting here doing a little stakeout with the thermal binoculars it's just been quiet. We didn't get any hits on the thermals. So we're just gonna move through the forest and see if we can kind of stir anything up. We're gonna go red headlamps, red flashlights, and just stir everything up, make some noise. And I don't know, we're gonna see if anything happens.
Yeah.
But so far, it's just been quiet after those initial
Since
vocalizations.
that major vocalization when we first
Yeah.
moved down in, quiet. All right, let's keep going.
The rest of the night passed without incident. Shortly after, a stretch of unseasonably warm weather gave us a chance to return to the Sumter National Forest for one final investigation. We decided to focus entirely on the area surrounding the possible nest or blind we had discovered on a previous trip.
We've kind of referred to it as different things between nest, blind. We don't really know its function, but it looks like it could be a blind or a nest or something like that. We don't know its function. We can't really deduce that, but we're just going to refer to it as probably both things at this point, just to make reference to it as we go up to it. It's at the apex of
It should just be right up here.
this
then.
hill. Yeah, it's at the very, very top in the center. Straight ahead. Boy, it blends in with the terrain so well. You can't even see it. And then after all of this damage from Hurricane Helene, with all of these huge trees going down, you see these root balls, and they look exactly like what we're approaching right now. These root balls have that same shape. So if you were to look up this hill from down below or from the side or anything like that, you would think that that's just another root ball sitting here. You know, it looks exactly like that root ball over there, and it just blends in with the environment so well.
Yeah, it's perfect camouflage. Wow,
That's amazing, isn't it?
that is. When you're
Off in
walking
the
up on
distance.
it, you think it's a root ball.
Yeah.
And it's something has bent trees over, small saplings, and then pulled vines and pine straw over it. And it's not huge.
So let's get in there and check it out.
Oh, you could get in and out where you're at right now.
I can get right through here. It looks like actually where it's supposed
And
to
again,
go.
we don't think whatever's out here is that big. I mean, you're not dealing with like 8 and 9 foot tall, like giants out here.
Yeah,
6.5 feet tall is usually what you get in the South.
And like something comes in here, like it's padded down. Not exactly as graceful as a
That log is almost a, wow, that is perfect.
I'm comfy in here. You can fit somebody my size probably on this side too if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
They'd be a little crunched up, but I mean, if I wanted to, I could easily put my feet down there, lay, and then look at this.
I can't see you at all right now.
You're super close to him as well, and you can't see him at all.
And I'm not trying to hide. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is old.
Yeah.
Some of this has basically rotted away.
Uh-huh.
When all of this stuff was fairly fresh, I mean, even right now, I can't tell you're there hardly.
It completely blocks him.
Huh.
Oh, I'm not even trying to hide right now. So if I were to actually like try to hide, unless I got a ghillie suit on and I lay down like this, you're never gonna, how would you know?
I'd take that back. Some of these are broken branches that have been woven in here. These are branches that have been broken off and woven into this. This has been made by hand.
Yeah.
I can't say who or what made it, but this has been made by hand. There's been broken branches put in with these saplings and to kind of do a structure, like a support for a roof. And then all of this stuff has been piled on top of it.
And by design, with the way this long pine, the straw falls, it only becomes more and more covered. You know, as
That's a
a
good
dome,
point.
it just keeps getting more and more. So you could build this, leave it. You could build 12 of these down wherever you want, and over time, they're only going to become more and more camouflaged.
And all appear to be exactly like
root
these root balls. Yeah.
And it's at the very top of this hill. So you're going to be able to hear anything approaching you. You can't move through this stuff silently. So, I mean, this is like perfect cover. If you were wanting to like hide out and stay like hidden, this is where you'd want to be at. This would be the exact spot you'd want to be on.
Even now, it's really sunny out. This is a comfortable spot to kind of get some shade on top of a mountain. And I mean, it's comfy in here. It feels probably like 5 to 10 degrees cooler in here just from all this shade.
Does it feel like where you're laying at right now, does that feel like there's been weight on that area for a extended amount of time?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's beaten down, it's flattened down?
There's a spot here where my rump's sitting at. That's like nice and comfy. It's not like it's almost formed in that type of way. But
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, right here. Now, I didn't just make this. You know what I mean? Like I didn't crunch the earth down 3 or 4 inches.
This, yeah, that would shade you from the sun. It's a really warm day right now.
MK, do you see where Jess is?
No. I actually can't see her. If I
So-
down to here, I can just see her back.
So the back where you're at right now would be for concealment. The front part where it's a little thinner for like observation.
Yeah.
Stick your head out and kind of get a glance.
Because if you hear something, most likely it'll be coming from that trail that's this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is a drop off over here. This is going to be very difficult for you to climb up this hill here.
Yeah.
This is a more gentle incline that somebody can actually climb up and approach you. Over here, that's a heartbreaker to get up and down.
Well, I was going to try to debunk it, saying that, okay, a couple of trees got pinned and vines just grew over it. But those vines have been broken off and moved here. But the fact that there's broken branches,
Yeah.
not cut, they're broken, like weaved in through there, something made this. Somebody or someone made this by hand.
What do you
Definitely.
think?
I agree.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect location for a night investigation. We'll come back here after sunset and move into the area quietly and maybe see if anything is still using this area to hunt or bed down or whatever these blinds are for. I say we come back here at night and move around and see if anything else is still inhabiting this area.
I'm out.
He emerges. Wow.
Yeah. Now, if this was completely natural, then where is the other ones that would just form naturally from a branch falling and then stuff falling over top of it? This is something that, if it was natural, you'd come across it every so many square miles, or just happen to be one of these naturally forming.
I've never seen anything like this in the woods.
Yeah.
Ever. Have you ever seen anything, Joe? MK? Yeah, either of you, have you ever seen anything that looks like this?
The closest thing I've ever seen is man-made stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let me put it to you like this. I don't know if I've seen it because I probably would have walked past it. If I was, again, 50 feet away from it, I'd assume it's a root ball and I'd just walk right past it. So I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this before but I can tell you this right now, out of all of I have a habit of going up to root balls. Do I not? Watch any of our videos and I have a habit of going up and going, this would be pretty good shelters, any hair here, anything like that. I've never walked up to a root ball and came up on something like this going, oh, it's not a root ball. Because that's what we originally thought this was. I've never seen anything like this. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. I think it's safe to say. We found what looked almost like a print-like impression into the ground. Not completely perfect, but I walked in this direction and there's like little indentations in the ground right here that almost, there's 5 of them. What do you think they look like?
Coming up here, you see impressions. I actually feel like it feels more like, I'm gonna move this out the way and you can see it a little bit better. But I'm seeing more of a
Hand thing?
hand kind of thing going
Oh, I
on.
see. I see what you're talking about because there's
Yeah.
something right here.
Yeah. There's nothing
1,
pressed
2,
down.
3, 4, 5. Okay.
That feels
yeah.
like a thumb just because of how far out it kind of is compared to the rest.
That's weird.
Let's check
This
out.
sunlight's perfect for this right now too. It's gonna, here, look,
Yeah.
that's smashed down. I don't know if I'm gonna
Crossed
pick it
over
up on the
log
camera.
there.
It's going down to this gully. Look. Yep. There's beaten down like needles back through here where something's been traveling through. The only reason we saw that.
Guys, this looks like a collapsed one of those things we found.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh my God, it is.
Here's your cross piece. This one's older, you can tell.
It's the exact same size. It's the exact same size.
Well, it's because this tree fell on it.
Yeah.
Something fell on it and crushed it down.
This looks like this is the exact same size, is it not?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly the
Wow.
same size.
These trees that are in the X are pretty much the same width and the same length, but I don't know if that means anything.
I mean, he's using the same vines to kind of weave everything up, and then
We're
that
seeing
catches
a
all the pine straw.
It's the same techniques over and over again.
You've got your center support beam type branches.
Like the shelters on the Appalachian Trail, it's like if you're going to follow a certain area, you're going to have shelters set up in place to where if you need to duck out, you know where they are.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, emergency shelters.
Always follow the breadcrumbs. We're making our way down this old Forest Service road in the direction of that blind nest structure that we found a couple of weeks ago. We were there earlier today to check it out, and we figured this would be a perfect place to do a night investigation. This is directly across Bombing Range Road from Sedalia Camp. We've been in Sedalia Camp over the past couple of months, off and on, and we have heard vocalizations. We've experienced things coming up to camp. So we think this is one of the areas that something is coming from. So we're really excited to get out here and do a night investigation and explore this area after dark. What do you think is the big thing that's going to be out here? Do you think that there might be something that's coming from this area towards the camp and using these areas as concealment, or what do you think?
It's hard to say, but whatever it is out here seems to leave more physical evidence.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems to have maybe more. I think the blind situation would imply that there is more of a at least semi-permanence of staying here.
Yeah, it could be using it for hunting as a place of concealment when it's hunting deer or any other game in the area. All right, we're going to head in and we're going to kind of be quiet. We do have the sound stick attached to that camera. So if anything goes off, if we have any vocalizations, which we have had vocalizations over the past couple of nights coming from this area, Joe can capture that with that camera. So I'm excited about this. Let's get in here. Let's kind of be quiet and make some observations and keep our head on a swivel.
A little bit of a vibe shift going on.
Yeah. Right here. All right, this is it.
What is it?
Okay. Was that? Stop, save that.
All right, hold on a second. Stopping all clips right now.
Stopping all clips. Don't say anything important.
That's over there by the no shoot.
What is
Those
going on?
shots are coming from where we...
Don't stop that camera on your chest. Don't stop the camera on your chest. Keep it going. What is going on?
What did you hear?
I heard,
That's what I heard.
and then I heard like a, oh.
There's someone popping rounds off
And then
the
somebody
Palmetto
popping
Trail.
rounds
In the same direction.
of the Palmetto Trail. That's a no
Yeah,
shooting.
no shoot, big no shoot.
Are you recording on everything?
I am now, but those gunshots happened as I was saving these files, but I've got it on my chest.
I know you got on the chest cams. Why didn't want you to stop them?
All right, so
We got those. Well, that's weird.
That was
that
weird.
sounded like,
That sounded
Yeah,
like
that's what it sounded like. Yeah.
it almost sounded like,
That gunshot.
well, that's just got weird.
shh, there it is again.
It was a knock. I don't know.
All right.
I was literally about to show you guys the stick.
We have to also be cognizant of the fact that somebody's
Shooting out
dumping
here.
rounds off
What
in
should
the
we
middle of
do?
the night.
What should we do? Don't make me make every decision.
Oh, no, we're going. Just,
Where
I
we-
need you to be on this side of me. So
Okay, we're gonna go up to the thing, okay?
if anything happens, the keys are in this part of my chest rig. But you guys stay on this side of me. A lot of areas in the Southern Appalachians that the locals know what's out there, okay? And at least in this region, it's not always like a peaceful coexistence, okay? And we've talked about that in the past. It's not our friendly forest brothers. It's get the dogs and the kids inside at night. Taking chickens, taking livestock,
So we might have a local that's
knows what's going on and is like not on good terms with whatever's out here.
that adds a wrinkle to the whole thing, doesn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
All right, let's get up to this blind. I'd like to see it at night.
I'm going to kill this. We need to kind of just go by moonlight here, if that's okay with y'all.
We'll get up here and we'll take a look at it, and then we're gonna assess what we're gonna do. I think we need to be wary of walking through the woods in that direction. The pressure's building out here. I don't know. Oh my God.
That's closer. It's a lot closer.
What are we gonna do?
That's multiple.
What are we doing here?
That's closer.
There's not supposed to be any shooting out here at all.
Oh, I know that.
I'm telling them.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Let's work our way to the nest.
Well, yeah, well, let's get a hill between us and whatever.
Let's work our way to the nest. Go.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, it's right here. Look at it from here. Does it not look like a...
Oh my God, that looks just like a...
It looks like a root ball. That totally looks like a root ball from here. Look at night, like you can barely even see it's here.
So I guess because of the shooting, we'll probably have to drop down back this way then, right?
We might have to. What do you think?
Let me just put it to you like this. If there's anything out here right now, it's headed away from that gunfire. You know?
We should be heading away from that gunfire, I
We are
guess.
going to be heading away from that gunfire.
Because it
So
sounded
we're
like they were
going to
getting...
the same place?
Huh?
So we're going to the same place. Do we want to sit tight here for like 10 minutes, quietly?
Let's do that.
All right.
You know what I do want to do? Since we're up here, let's kind of chill up here for a second. I want to get some shots of red light coming from inside of it. What is that?
It's multiple tree knocks happening all at once.
Whoa.
I'm getting out of here.
Get out of there.
Get out of there. Give me that camera.
Turn it on low light.
That was multiple tree knocks happening.
That was like,
all at
That
once.
was tree knocks?
that was
Those
drumming.
were tree knocks. That
That's
was like
basically drumming on it. That's a,
Where we just came from?
yeah, they're right down there.
Listen, with the gunfire and that,
He's trying to mimic the gunfire.
no, it's warning.
It's a warning.
I think it's a warning. We need to move in that direction, link up with that road, and then move back out.
So we need to go down and right if you want to get to the
You
road.
lead the-
Okay, so
you lead the way.
Get out of here. Is that the plan?
We've got to get somewhere where
go.
we have better visibility with this.
Wait a minute. Should we go towards it?
The gunfire is what's got me worried. All right, let's do this. Let's compromise. We'll move down towards it.
Okay,
Keep an ear out for gunfire. I'm going first, okay?
done.
All right.
What's going on tonight?
I don't know what's happening.
You know better than anybody what rifle fire
Yeah, I
sounds
can
like.
tell the difference,
That was
yeah.
a couple like ARs going off
Yeah.
and then a handgun mixed in. But the tree knocking,
The drumming of
that was like multiple.
I
all
heard
at
it,
once.
yeah.
It sounded like
I've never heard anything like that before.
No, I never heard anything like that before. That's a big boom.
Finally. What the hell?
I don't know.
What the hell's going on here?
I have no clue what the hell just.
I don't know. I don't know. All right, but if that gunfire gets closer, we got to be careful because that's towards the gunfire.
Now, let me explain it real quick, though. Don't be worried about the gunfire unless you hear the whiz of the bullet. If you're not hearing whizzes, the bullets aren't going
Okay.
by you. If you hear a whiz, then you get freaky. Then you get concerned. But if you're just hearing fire.
Let's go, but you stay on the opposite side of me and MK, okay?
Yeah, just stay like behind us.
All right.
And again, if you hear a whiz, that's when we duck. That's when you get down.
Well, this went wild.
This turned a little weird.
That tree knocking was like,
That was
in a way, that tree knocking's weirder than those like vocalizations we heard.
I've never heard anything like that. Well, you know what I mean? I've never heard anything like that.
Let me throw an idea you guys way. I know now is not the right time, but let me just get this out here.
Sure.
We think that these things are going up and observing the camp, stealing food and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, if they're doing it to somebody's farm on the outskirts of this forest,
Yeah, which there's lots around here.
they might be getting a little too close and somebody's pushing them back. I know that's crazy conspiracy.
We got a siege going on here.
Ooh, feel that temperature change through here. Ooh. I heard like an electrical hum. All right. This got really weird really fast.
Can I get some feedback on like kind of what we thinking here?
I
Part of
think
me
that
wants to just-
somebody's getting hassled at night and they just opened up on it.
Yeah,
I think that whatever
and we're kind of caught in the middle of it.
I think that whatever these things are doing at that campground, they're doing it like farms around here as well on the
Maybe.
outskirts of the forest. And we're aware of it and we've barely been here.
Yeah,
The locals are probably very aware of it, the ones that live out here.
yeah.
And let's just be honest,
Now you notice
some of the surrounding homes here are pretty rough, you know.
yeah, and you notice there's no goofy Bigfoot stuff anywhere around here.
No, not at all.
It's not a goofy thing here. It's a
And no
scary
one will
thing.
talk about Bigfoot at all out
No,
here.
we've tried.
No.
Whoa, that's kind of an interesting point. Like even if you worry, there's this kind of tongue-in-cheek, fun Bigfoot thing.
Big fun. And you can usually ask people, and they usually got some stories and all that.
So if they're going up to people's homes at night and they're around here, this is a well-armed population around here.
Yeah.
And
So we're just caught in the freaking
It's
crossfire here, huh?
that
Part of me
sounded
thinks we should just hunker down for 10 minutes, stay still,
That's
see what
fine.
happens. But I mean, I'm not. What do you think? I mean,
We can do that here. Yeah, we can do that.
kill the headlamps.
just kill
get
everything.
down.
I don't think I've ever even heard anybody describe an incident where they were drumming like that, like rapid recession. Yeah, I don't think I've ever even heard that. I mean, maybe I'm ssure someone has had that experience, but I've never heard about it.
To me, it sounded like
That's what I sound. Yeah.
It sounds like a drum corps.
That was like,
And it didn't sound far away at all. It sounded like
well, it was right down
Yeah.
here.
Between us and the gunfire.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. That was
It was unnerving.
that shook me. That rocked me back
I
pretty.
wanted to get out of that blind real fast.
But that was
I felt like I pissed it off.
that shook me up a bit.
Were we in something's way? Was something falling back from that gunfire going to where the blinds were? And we were there, and that was an alert
with
going,
a light
hey,
inside,
I don't know.
making a show out of it.
We're putting human interpretations on something that may not be human out here.
We are, yeah.
Somebody could say it was trying to save us, to warn us to get out of there. You know, there's a lot of different weird avenues you can take this, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
I think that these things got a little too close to somebody's house tonight.
So did we just kind of stumble upon like a siege of some sort? You
Well,
know?
I've got a feeling that these things get,
Too close
they
for
got a little
comfort.
too close to us at the camp. And I think they got a little too close to that guy that first night we were here that got spooked out and left. Maybe they occasionally get too close to somebody's house here. They pop off a few rounds. If they're out here, the people that live here know. I guarantee you, there's too many little homes tucked away in like corners of the woods here. There's a lot of private property interdispersed with the National Forest. And we think that's part of the reason
There's
why
a
they're able to
really-
stay hidden.
There's
It's
a
'cause
lot of people who are insanely isolated out here too, as you can see. And they're probably out here. And you can tell these people don't have a lot of money. You can tell that this is all they have is this property and probably their livestock. This is a threat, you know. These things coming in are a real threat to their livelihood, to their existence.
After that loud one went off, though, it's been quiet.
Yeah. But now I'm sure it would probably know. It knows we're at that camp.
Yeah, it does.
You want to head back to camp?
I think so.
Yeah.
Head back to camp. See, I mean, there's nobody
I
else in
wouldn't
that
put it-
camping area now. We're by ourselves there.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past it. That's where it's going right now.
What was that?
It sounds like a metal door shutting.
That sounded like a metal door shutting. Yeah.
Metal door slamming shut in the middle of the woods.
Oh no.
Need to get on our feet.
Yeah, let's go.
Joe, I need that GPS out now. You needed to just point me in the direction.
That's exactly what that was. It was a metal
Exactly
door
what.
slamming.
Metal door shutting. Yeah, let's go.